Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to crack the code on something you see every single day, the hidden language of color. From the logos that just grab your attention to the rooms that make you feel instantly calm, color is always talking to us. And in the next few minutes, you're going to learn exactly how to speak that language.
Really think about it. Why does one color combo feel so right, so perfect, while another just feels off? Why does a poster scream, "Look at me," while a bedroom whispers, "Relax"? Well, I'll tell you, it's not magic. It's a system. It's all about color theory.
And it's not just for professional designers. As our source material from Dr. Noor Shahila Ibrahim points out, getting a handle on color theory is, well, it's pretty crucial for anyone who wants to communicate visually. It's a tool, and you're about to learn how to use it.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll break down what a color is actually made of. Then, we'll build our most important guide, the color wheel. After that, we'll get into the fun stuff, how color sets a mood, some proven formulas for putting them together, and by the end, you'll be speaking the language of color fluently. Let's do this.
All right, first things first, the anatomy of a color. To really get this, you've got to know that every single color you've ever seen can be broken down into just three basic building blocks. The first, and honestly the easiest one, is hue. Hue is literally just the name of the color. When you say red, green, or blue, you're talking about its hue. It's the pure basic color itself. Simple, right?
Next up is value. This one's all about how light or dark a color is. The best way to think about it is like one of those paint swatches you see at the hardware store. You've got that whole strip of blues from a super pale light blue all the way down to a deep dark navy. That's its range of value. And a little pro tip, when you add white, it's called a tint. Add black, and it's called a shade.
And the third piece of the puzzle is saturation. This is the color's intensity, its oomph. Is it a bright, super vibrant, almost electric red, or is it more of a dull, kind of grayish, muted red? That difference, that's saturation. Okay, so now we've got our three building blocks, hue, value, and saturation. But we need a way to organize them, right? And for that, we need to talk about the single most important tool in any colorist's toolkit. Yep, the color wheel. Seriously, all it is the rainbow bent into a circle. But don't let its simplicity fool you. This circle is an incredibly powerful map that shows us exactly how all the different hues relate to one another. It is our blueprint for making colors work together perfectly.
And check out how easy it is to build. You just start with the three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. You can't make these by mixing. Now mix any two of those and boom, you get the secondary colors, orange, green, and violet. Then mix a primary with a secondary color right next to it, and you get the 6 tertiary colors, like red, orange, or blue-green. And that's it. That's your whole 12-hue color wheel.
So we've built our wheel. Now let's put it to work. If we slice it right down the middle, we get the most basic, most powerful emotional division in all of color theory, the difference between warm and cool colors. On one side, you have your warm colors, the reds, oranges, and yellows. Think fire, think sunlight. They feel energetic, exciting. They feel like they're coming towards you. It's no surprise that so many fast food brands use red and yellow, right? Now, on the other side, you've got the cool colors, blues, greens, violets. Think of the sea or the forest. These feel peaceful, calm, and stable. They tend to recede. It's why you see so much blue in banks and hospitals. They're trying to communicate trust and serenity. This one split is a huge psychological shortcut.
Okay, let's get down to the really practical stuff. This is where it all comes together. We can actually use the relationships we see on the color wheel to create these proven formulas, or schemes, that pretty much guarantee a great-looking combination every single time. Think of them as recipes for perfect color harmony.
So, the simplest recipe on the menu is the monochromatic scheme. All you do is pick one hue, let's just say blue, and then you use all its different tints and shades. Because it's all from the same color family, the result is always going to look really sophisticated, subtle, and unified.
But what if you want something that really stands out? For that, you want a complementary scheme. You take two colors that are directly opposite each other on the wheel. This creates the most contrast you can possibly get, and it makes both colors look way more intense and vibrant when you put them next to each other. It's a combination that really pops.
And once you know what to look for, you'll see this scheme everywhere. Christmas is just red and green, right? Think about those Renaissance paintings with the rich golds and deep blues. Or even the Impressionist painters like Monet, who loved pairing yellow and violet to make light feel like it was shimmering. It's a classic for a reason.
Now, if that high contrast look is just too much for you, the analogous scheme is your best friend. For this, you just pick 2 or 3 colors that are neighbors on the color wheel, like say blue, blue-green, and green. Since they're so closely related, they create this really serene, comfortable, and harmonious vibe. It's all about low contrast and unity.
Okay, for a scheme that's got energy but also feels balanced, you've got the triadic. This one uses 3 colors that are evenly spaced on the wheel, so they form a perfect triangle. It gives you some really nice, strong contrast, but it still feels balanced and rich. It's dynamic, but it's not totally chaotic.
The most famous triadic schemes are the big ones, the primary colors of red, yellow, and blue, or the secondary colors. But you also see it in nature. Think about autumn leaves. You'll often find this beautiful, subtle palette of muted orange, green, and violet all together. Kind of cool that nature is a master of color theory, huh?
And last but not least, we've got the most complex, but maybe the most rewarding scheme of all, the tetradic. People also call it the rectangular scheme. This one uses 4 colors, basically 2 different sets of complementary pairs. It gives you the most variety of any scheme, which, yeah, it can be a little tricky to pull off. But when you get it right, it's incredible.
Now, this scheme can get a little wild if you're not careful. The absolute key is balance. But just look at the amazing candy-colored buildings you can see here. That's a perfect real-world example. They're using 4 different colors, but by tweaking the shades and tones, it feels vibrant and fun, not overwhelming. It's the same thing with the dessert. All 4 colors are there, and they just make it look even more delicious.
And there you have it. Just like that, you've gone from the absolute basics of a single color all the way to understanding the complex formulas that artists and designers have been using for centuries. You've basically learned the grammar of color.
So, here's the bottom line. You now have the complete toolkit. You can look at any color and break it down into its hue, value, and saturation. You've got the color wheel as your map, and you have 5 proven recipes: monochromatic, complementary, analogous, triadic, and tetradic to start building with. From now on, you're going to start seeing the world a little differently. You'll be able to spot these patterns everywhere. So the only real question is, now that you've cracked the color code, how are you going to use it?